Happy Halloween, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, ghosts and ghouls, squirrels and lemurs, raccoons and opossums, and everybody in between. Happy Halloween! It's the scary time. All right, so today we're going to react to some customer service horror stories. And I'm going to ask that you put your own customer service horror story down in the comments. We all have them. We all have them. And if you've a customer who's had a nightmare with a customer service agent, add that too. Because you know what? This is a two-way street. And that's okay. So let's watch this. It's literally called Customer Service Horror Stories. I'll put the link down in the whatever it's called, the dooblie-doo, as Matt Colville, I believe, calls it, because I can't remember the name of it either. So, without further ado, let's get started. All right, everybody settled in? Okay, let's go.
So today is the day we leave the EU. We're fucked. Up the arse. Cheers! This is my favourite mug because it describes me perfectly. So what is the date today? Oh my gosh, January is almost over. Hello everyone, today is the 31st of January 2020. Doesn't January feel like the longest fucking month? It's like how many days?
Well, this is pre-everything, huh? Let's see if things have changed.
In January? I don't know, 100? Should bring back the Sarah XX loose side fringe.
Yes.
There we go. Get a little clip.
There we go.
Done. Okay, I drank all my coffee.
Those were the best
I do
of
feel awake
times.
now. So hello. It's not even 10 o'clock and I'm filming a video. This was a requested video about customer service horror stories. Now, in the 14 years I've worked in customer service, a lot of shit has probably happened. Much of which I don't remember. You just take it on the chin, you smile, and you carry on earning your minimum wage. But there are a few that I do remember. So I have worked in customer service since I was 15, so I'm 29, so that's about, what, 14 years? A lot of people seem...
Ha. I have, like, a lot more time under my belt. But that's mostly because I'm older. I started my customer service journey when I was 17. 2 years older than this person. So long ago. To anybody wondering, because I am, and bear with me while I bring up a calculator, because customer service, not accounting. 26 years in customer service for me. Let's continue on. And boy, do I have some horror stories as well.
Seem to think that because you don't necessarily need any qualifications to work in customer service, that you don't work hard and that it's not a hard job and that you don't necessarily work for your money. But I actually think customer service is one of the hardest types of jobs to be in.
It really is. It's not physically demanding, although some retail jobs can be. It's not physically demanding. It is mentally and emotionally and sometimes spiritually exhausting and demanding. So yeah.
People treat you like shit because their mindset is anyone can do your job. Anyone can be a waitress and bring me my food. That's what you're paid to do. And because...
Okay. First of all, not everyone is cut out to do customer service. That's just a fact, right? I've seen some people that were hired in customer service that never should have even gone to the interview. They never should have been chosen to be brought in for the interview, ever. A simple phone screening could have fixed that, but it is what it is, all right? People do have that misconception that anybody can do it, that it is an entry-level job, whatever the fuck that means. And people, honestly, a lot of them, look down at customer service people, whether it's retail, whether it's call centers, whether it's fast food, restaurants, anything. They always look down on customer service workers, and it's disgusting. Even when, a few months after this video that we're watching was filmed, the customer service and the employees at grocery stores were deemed essential workers. They were essential to the continuing nature of our society, of our culture, of our way of life. And they were still treated like shit. Yeah. Okay.
Because their mindset is you're basically, or essentially, shit on the bottom of their shoe because anyone without any qualifications could do what I'm doing. You get treated like absolute rubbish, not by everyone, but by a lot of people, and you just have to take it on the chin, smile, and carry on. And here lies the problem. There should be one day a year when we, as retail and customer service workers, should be allowed to say what we're really thinking back to customers.
Yes.
Do what they do to us. Just one day. Just one day. I personally think
I'll go one step further, and maybe she says this in the next second, I don't know. But I think everybody should work 1 year in customer service, either face-to-face or over the phone, or both. I think that would massively change society and the way that we interact with each other.
think it is absolutely disgusting. Customer is always fucking right. I hate that saying, because they're not. Most of the time, the customer is a fucking dick. But we can't say that. Not me, the little menial worker, on my £8.21 an hour. Fuck. It just makes me so angry that because it's not considered a career, and don't get me wrong, it isn't a career, is what makes so many people look down on people that work in the customer service and retail industry. But it is fucking hard. Don't ever tell someone that works in this industry that it isn't hard and that they don't work. It can be so draining. And you can come home at the end of the day and feel absolutely shit about yourself. Most of the time, we're like, gotta keep smiling for my 8-hour shift because I'm working in customer service. God forbid my face drops and show my actual emotion. God fucking forbid. In all honesty, there is probably a lot of things that have happened over the years that you would class as a horror story, but I think the old noggin has decided it's too traumatic to remember all of them. This is just a few. This is a great one. This was about maybe September, October time, and I got called horseface by a lovely, lovely couple who were just...
Holy shit.
...just out to get free food, in all honesty. They had come in... this is a story. Oh shit, am I allowed to say where I work? So they came in and they had these vouchers to use. And these vouchers are only given to people who have previously complained. So we knew that they had previously complained about something and they had come back to use these vouchers. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't know if I could get in trouble for doing so. So long story short, I had just taken over from a previous waitress who had taken their order. Their order was in the system. It was just being cooked, so I didn't actually know what their order was. And when I took their food over to them, they said that their order was wrong. Then they had ordered fries. Now, fries are a side. They come out with the main meal. You don't have fries as a starter. You just don't. It's not even a starter on the menu. It is a side. They had wanted the fries as a starter, and I said to them, you can't have it as a starter because it's a side. They didn't really understand what I was saying, and the previous waitress who had taken their order suddenly panicked and thought that she'd put their order in wrong, and I explained, you haven't put their order in wrong because fries are a side, not a starter. This lady, this lovely, lovely lady, was overhearing this conversation as it was happening. She then said that me and my colleague were bitching about her. Definitely going to waste my time bitching about you in front of you whilst you're at the salad bar. Good one. I don't really remember what actually happened. I just remember they came over to pay and it started getting heated really, really quickly. They just kept finding all these things wrong. You could just tell it was blatantly obvious they weren't going to pay. They were just finding one thing after another. So if I gave them an answer for one thing, they'd find something else. So I was like, you know what? You're not going to pay. Please vacate the premises. Actually, I said, okay, you're clearly not going to pay your bill, so please, if I can ask you to leave. Now, this woman looked shocked because she didn't want to leave. She wanted to get more vouchers. So that's clearly what she had done before. She complained she'd got vouchers. So she wasn't going to be happy until she complained again. and got more free vouchers. She didn't want to just leave. Not paying for her meal wasn't good enough. She looked shocked that I suggested that they leave without paying their bill. I can't really remember specifically what happened because I was like so trying to stay calm, but inside I was like, you can't really remember how it got to this point, but I use my hands a lot when I talk, as you notice in videos. I don't mean anything by it, I'm just a very hand gesturing person. She told me, she was like, put your hand down, don't you wave your fucking hand at me, put your hand down, all whilst she was, you know, doing this in my face. And I was like, please don't raise your voice at me, blah, 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 please leave. Then somehow it got to the point where she called me horseface, and she went, don't talk to me like that, horseface. Kept trying to get a rise out of me, and I was trying to stay really calm because I had a full front section. Oh, she was swearing at me. She was like effing and blinding all over the place. And there were children there. I said, please do not swear at me. This is a family restaurant. And then the guy, who'd been pretty quiet throughout this, was like, my daughter is a cage fighter. She'll come down here and pull you out on the street. She just didn't like the fact that I wasn't rising enough to what they were saying. I was getting angry, and I had like tears in my eyes where I was that angry because I wanted to scream. But again, I had a restaurant full of guests who all backed me up and said that if this went to head office, they would make statements to say how well I handled the situation. And I just remember getting really argumentative with her, but still trying to be professional when I just wanted to call her a heffalump. If I had said anything, I would have been sacked. I had to stand there and take the abuse, wait for my manager to come down. Then she started screaming that she wanted my name, that she was going to go to head office and do everything in her power to get me sacked. All because she wanted free fucking pizza. She was too cheap to buy a £7 pizza. Stupid, doll-dotting twat. I genuinely loathe where I live because it is full of people like that. Oh.
That's crazy. First of all, no. Nobody deserves to be treated like that at work. Nobody deserves to be treated like that anywhere, but especially at work. The fact that this was able to continue and the manager wasn't there immediately is disgusting. I like that shirt, by the way. No outfit is complete without cat hair. That is 100% true, especially if you wear black, like I do, and you have a cat, like I do. Yes. But, no, you should not expect to be treated like that at work in a public setting. That is crazy.
To just get something for free and they don't care about anyone else but themselves. They seem to be good at knowing the tables that are going to try and make a run for it, or say they found a hair in their food, or just, you know, not pay. About 98% of the time I'm right. My instinct about tables is right. Okay, so this, I don't want anyone to get offended by this. So in England, or at least again where I'm from, there is a distinction between real travellers and what we call pikeys. Real travellers have their own land. They're hardworking. They have horses. They are a tight-knit community. They will do anything for one of their own. They are hardworking, and most of the time they're not out to cause trouble. Now, pikeys is, again, they are still travellers, or they're of traveller descent, but they are not hardworking. They are out to get everything for nothing. Most of the time, the ones in our area have a distinct Irish accent that is like such a mumbly Irish accent you can barely understand them. Like all the words come together in one. I'm sorry, love, but I am going to pay for my pizza because I found a fucking hair in it. They're like, I'm sorry, what? So like I said, there is a distinction between travellers and pikeys. Now, again, pikeys are, they say...
Hey, Alexa, is that racist? No. Fuck the pikeys. All right.
That they're travellers, and maybe they do live on a site, they do have caravans or chalets, and they may own horses, but they're out to cause trouble. They're not necessarily hardworking. They're thieving. They're rude. They try and play the discrimination card, and that's how they get away with a lot of the shit they do. So we can't say anything back to them. Say that there is a table of pikeys waiting at the door to be sat, a table of 10, because they normally come in a massive group. I can't ask them to pay up front because they'll play the discrimination card and tell me that I'm discriminating against them.
All right, so people from the UK, is this true? Is what she's saying true, or is she just making it up? I don't feel like she's making it up, but I also don't know. I mean, every country, every place has its people like that, right? But, okay.
You're a fucking racist, and they'll call it racist, even though it's not being racist, it's being discriminative. They will call you racist, and they will say that they go into the papers, and you won't be able to get them to pay up front. And then, this is where my story starts. I have countless stories, not just at...
Scientologists were doing that to the Mercury News in the Bay Area, which was funny. Sending emails to everybody they advertised to, because they published a couple of articles that were almost sort of slightly critical of Scientology, claiming it was bigoted and all this other stuff. So, just thought that was funny.
The place that I am now, so not just... but even at the ice rink, Diggerland. I've lost my train of thought. Yeah, this is where my story starts. I've lost count, even just at how many times this has happened. They will find they'll over-order, first of all. So they'll get a sharing pizza per person, like 3 portions, like 3 racks of ribs, fries, onion rings. They'll do a massive order, like £100 worth of food. So you know that they're not going to pay from the get-go. And then you go and do a check back, and you ask if everything's okay, everything's fine. Then 5-10 minutes later, they'll call you over, and they'll find a piece of plastic in the food. Plastic which isn't in the kitchen at all. It's nothing to do with us. They've placed it in their food, but they found a piece of plastic in their food. We can't dispute that. They will find hair in their food. It won't match my colour. It won't match the people in the kitchen who are wearing a hairnet colour or length of hair. But still, they found a hair in their food. They will say the pizza's too greasy, even though they ordered a stuffed crust, and the garlic butter leaves a ring of grease because it is melted butter. They will try everything under the sun, or... the really brave ones won't even give a shit. They'll just get up and walk out, and they know that you won't say anything to them because they'll get you done for discrimination. One that they do quite often is, again, if it's a big...
That is disgusting. That is gross.
table, they'll try and confuse you. So they'll all order, they'll all shout over each other, and then they'll all order, and then you read it back to them, and then they'll start saying, no, I didn't order that, I want this instead, no, I don't want that, I want that, I want that, I want that, and they'll try and confuse you. And then you just have to keep reading the order back and back, and they'll keep trying to change it and confuse you. And then when the order comes out, they'll say, I didn't order that. Well, you did, but alright, I'll take it off the bill for you. Yeah, but I still want to eat it. It makes me so angry. They can just get away with it. At the ice rink, I've had them jump over the desk to get their ice skates for free. I've had, at the trampoline park actually, they're meant to sign a waiver. I've had them say that they can't read and that they refuse to sign a waiver, and then run upstairs and leg it on the trampolines without paying or signing a waiver, just because they can, and they know that no one will say anything to them. This one is called The Woman Who Waited for a Penny.
Okay.
Now, this isn't a horror story, this is literally just funny. So as a server slash waitress, you have your own, float, so your own pocket of change on you. Once it runs out, you have to obviously give a note to a manager to get you some more change. The amount of times that I have run out of coppers, so I've run out of pennies, and people are like, it's fine, don't worry, it's just a penny. Because it is that. It is just a fucking penny. This one woman, I had a full restaurant.
Unrelated. But you know those, when you pay with cash at a store, and I don't know if you know how to do that or if you do that at all, right? But I have. And they have those automatic change giving things at the registers now, even if there's a human there, where it spits out the change, okay? Now, I rarely keep change on me, mostly because it's annoying when it's in your pocket, all right? I went to the store, and what I bought cost $10.01. I did not have 1 cent. I had a 20. So I paid $10.01 with a 20, and got change back of $9.99. I think that math checks out. Anyway, in the old days, if it was a penny, the cashier, if they were of good customer service stock would be like, don't worry about the penny. I got you. I got you. And they just give you a 10 back, right? And then the next time you're in, you'd leave a handful of stuff, change, in that leave a penny, take a penny thing, right? But no. Ever since they installed that thing, carrying around a pocket full of change, until I got to the car, and then I threw it in the little center console thingy, right? But still, I hated it. Oh, shit. This video.
On my own, her change was literally just a penny. I said, oh, unfortunately I haven't got the penny to give you, is that okay? And normally they go, yeah, no, that's fine, like, don't be silly, it's just a penny, have a good day.
Because it's a fucking
she
penny.
stood there and just started fucking shouting at me.
It's a fucking conspiracy. If all the companies kept my penny, I'd be out of pocket thousands. If you did this, every customer that came through the door, you'd have like £100.
It's a conspiracy.
She just kept shouting, it's a conspiracy, I want my penny. I was like, that's fine, and call upstairs, get my manager to get you some more change. She waited for what I think must have been about 10 minutes to get her penny back. To get her penny back. Like, I'm sorry, but it's a penny. But it was just funny because I had 100 other things to do, and she cared about this penny. I love people, I really do. Or the people that make me laugh are when they give you the money, and like we give them a little pot to put their money in if they're paying by cash, and they give you the pot and they're like, keep the change, you worked really hard for it, like, thank you so much. And obviously you haven't counted the money yet, so you're like, oh, thank you so much, like, that's really kind of you, thank you. So you make a big deal out of saying thank you. You don't know how much is in the pot, you count all the change up, do the till, and you realise they've left you a penny. They've made you grovel and say thank you for a penny, and they've made a point out of doing that. It's like, yeah, thank you so much for your help. Keep the change, knowing that it's a penny. The people that let their kids chuck pizza crusts and sweet corn and shit all over the floor, something that they wouldn't do at home, and then go, oh, sorry.
What kind of place sells both pizza and sweet corn? I don't think I've ever seen corn and pizza on the same menu at a restaurant. Maybe things are different in the UK. Maybe it is across a vast ocean, far away. But I have never seen a menu that had both pizza and corn.
About the mess. They're not sorry that they've left the mess. They think that's your job and your duty to clean up after them. People that leave wet wipes and nappies and things smushed all over the table. Oh, it's their job to do it. It's just...
I hate that fucking mentality. All right. So, and on one hand, I get it, right? Yeah, well, it's job security. If we didn't leave this fucking mess here, they wouldn't have anything to do and they'd get laid off. We're creating jobs by being fucking slobs. Fuck you. Make it easier for people. When you're at a restaurant and you finish the plates, stack the plates. Don't leave a mess. Don't leave your fucking diapers on the table. I know what a nappy is, all right? I grew up really poor in New England. And all we had was PBS. And at night on PBS, all they had were British comedies. Okay? Are You Being Served? Red Dwarf? Keeping Up Appearances? And a lot of others. So I know what a frickin' nappy is.
It's a sense of entitlement. Well, you're the waitress, you clean it. This is when I worked at the ice rink. So this was a long time ago. I don't remember much about it at all. I just remember that the session had just finished, so everyone was bringing their skates back, and this was at a pop-up ice rink at Christmas. It was really, really busy, and there was a really tall guy who was sort of at the back. There was like 3 rows of people waiting to get their shoes back for their skates, and this one guy kept shouting abuse at me, but he was, like I said, he was like 3 like rows back, and he leaned over the person in front, and where I had leant forward to get someone else's skates, he dropped the skate. It somehow dropped like on this part of my face, and it cut my lip and cut here.
Holy
Not
shit.
badly. Luckily the skates are blunt as fuck when you go to a Christmas ice rink. I just remember I had blood dripping and people were still screaming at me to get their skates, and I just had to go to the first aid room. Like, you're
What the fuck? Guys, gals, is the UK really this bad? Holy shit, if it is true.
all gonna get your shoes eventually. Just fucking wait. This one is customers pushing me out the way to get into skate hire as we were taking too long. So I remember I worked for free. No, I didn't work for free. That is a lie. I worked on Christmas Day because we were doing free ice skating. Now this was at my local ice rink that I worked at for 4 years. We offer free skating on Christmas Day, and in exchange, any money raised for the skating aid, so the penguins and the walruses, the money goes to charity. I got paid £75 for 4 hours work, which was really good, but it was Christmas Day. But it was fucking rammed. It ruined my Christmas working on Christmas Day.
£75. Okay. Let's find out. No, that's my calendar. 75. Okay. 18.5 pounds to dollars. Oh, that's like $24 an hour. That's not terrible, especially back then. Shit. I'd do it. On Christmas Day? After the presents are open? Christmas is over. So, yeah.
People are heathens and they are just awful. Even more so around the holidays. And I just remember it was actually absolute carnage. I was on my own. It was just me working Christmas Day, I think. One person in the cafe, one person in skate hire. And I just had people literally jumping over the counter to get these skating aids for free. But they'd already got free ice skating, just taking them, shouting abuse at me, like pushing me out the way to get into skate hire to get their own skates. So I was on my own, and again, they couldn't wait. So it's not really a horror story, but it goes to show that people want everything for nothing, and they're awful. You would think on Christmas Day people would be like merry and bright. Not a fucking chance. Working in customer service in the holidays, if I haven't said so already, is a fucking nightmare. You would think
It is. And here's why. Everybody is stressed out on the holidays. It's supposed to be a time of charity and giving and compassion and love and joy. But everybody's fucking stressed out because we've lost the reason of the season, and the human spirit took over. Greed took over. Avarice, lust, gluttony, all took over. And now we have things like Black fucking Friday and Christmas decorations up in stores in fucking September. Christmas don't even start until November 15th. Because November 15th is 40 days before Christmas. And 40 is a number that is very important. That's another video.
I think Disneyland is the happiest place on earth, right? I get the sense that it is one of the worst places to work in a lot of ways. Like customers.
I've only seen, and to be fair, I've only been to Disneyland like 4, maybe 5 times, right, in my entire life. And that was when I was an old crotchety adult. Younger than I am now. It's been a few years. But I have never seen anybody treat the Disneyland employees like shit. I've seen fights happen between park goers. Those were fun. I've seen plenty of kids crying. But I have never seen someone treating an employee at Disneyland like shit. Huh. Interesting.
Guests
I am sure it's happened, though.
are absolutely vile. I actually worked at the Disney store in a big shopping centre, and that was probably one of the worst places I've ever worked. The staff were bitchy, the customers were, again,
Disney adults. Am I right?
fucking rude, and it was just not a happy experience. The places that you think are going to be the happiest places to work are actually the worst. But people that tell you to smile, maybe I don't want to fucking smile all the time. Okay. So going back to the ice rink, as a skate hire assistant, you had to clean the toilets and clean the ice rink in general. Once in the ladies' toilets, and people think that the men's toilets are actually the worst, but women are disgusting.
Yes. If you've ever worked retail, you know exactly what she means. Okay? Women's restrooms were at least 10 times more gross than anything that ever happened in the men's room. At least 10 times. It is gross, and these people should be ashamed of themselves.
I've had used sanitary towels like stuck to the front of the cubicle before.
Yep, I've seen
someone
that.
decided to take a big shit next to the toilet. They had purposely shat on the floor. It wasn't a child, it was a fully grown adult human shit.
Gross.
So someone had decided, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to shit next to the toilet so someone can clean it up. I had to get my hand inside a black sack, scoop up the shit, then pull the bag back on itself and try not to throw up. Why are people so
I would have thrown up.
Okay, so this one was recent-ish. A little boy who was probably too old for a nappy just decided that while sitting on his chair to eat his food, he would pee. Not even say that he wanted to go for a wee, just pee. But I'm not blaming the little boy because he's a little boy. So he decided just to pee all over the chair and throw himself. My camera is dying, one sec. Yeah, so this little boy peed on himself all over the chair, and it was a massive puddle. It ended up all over the floor. There were guests sat next to them, so it was just sort of a big puddle, like spilling out underneath the table. Me personally, if this was my child, I would let someone know. I would let a member of staff know, but I wouldn't just let them clean it up and then just sit there, which is exactly what they did. They watched me get blue roll, put some gloves.
That is crazy. Parents, and I'm a parent, clean up your own kid's piss. Okay? Okay? Okay. All right.
On, get a mop, and just wipe his chair. And all they did was just put him on their lap and just sat there and watched me whilst I cleaned up his pee. And they didn't even say sorry. Like I said, it's not the little boy's fault, but how the parents handled it. One, say sorry. One, give me a hand, because it's not my job to clean up your child's urine. It's just not. Then when I had cleaned up the majority of it, I said, oh, is that okay? Is that dry enough? They just went, yep. I didn't even clean up the little boy and then just went back to eating their food.
That is fucked up.
Yeah. There is a gentleman that is kind of irregular. I know what his order is. He comes in all the time and he gets, an individual pan meat feast and a bowl of cider. And he started getting more and more creepy every time he came in. He'd ask for a hug or he'd try and kiss my hand.
Ew.
You have to sort of go along with it because you don't want to seem rude. So I let him kiss my hand.
You do not have to go along with that shit. To anybody listening to this, and I hope you do, but for anybody listening, you do not have to put up with that. Customers, unless you work in very specific industries, cannot touch employees. What the fuck?
I let him, give me a hug because he was an old man. I felt a bit sorry for him. He took it a little.
Old men and old women are perverts. Not all, but a lot.
A little bit far. He kept saying that I was a very nice looking girl and just making really creepy comments. But again, you have to laugh and smile and be like, oh, thank you, because God forbid I can't say what I'm actually thinking.
In that situation, I don't think anybody would blame you.
was around Christmas time, he decided to buy myself, my manager, and the other girl on shift a drink. So thoughtful of you, thank you so much. I hope you have a really nice Christmas. And then he kissed my cheek before, so he wanted to kiss my cheek again. But this was in the same day. This was about the 4th time he tried to kiss my cheek.
Why wasn't he banned?
So again, sort of, as I gave him a hug, he went to kiss my cheek because I was saying thank you for the drink. And he literally grabbed my face, pulled it, and kissed me on the lips. You just have to laugh it off.
No, you don't have to laugh it off. That's assault, brother. Sister? Yeah.
And be like, oh, thank you so much for this drink that I didn't want. It's not really a horror story, but it's just the fact that...
Yes, it fucking is. That is creepy, and that is fucking weird.
This one happened, this was quite a while ago, but isn't it, again, it's not really a horror story. These are just like a couple of things that I remember. There was a lady and her friend. Lady had gone, like her... Let me start again. Okay, there was 2 ladies. One had gone to the toilet, and I'd asked the other lady if they were ready to order, and she said yes. So she ordered for her friend. Now I'm adamant that I took their order down right. It was a very simple order. And then when I took their food over, her friend was like, this isn't what I wanted. Like, I wanted it with no mushrooms, and it's got mushrooms on it. Now this lady, her friend, hadn't told me that she didn't want mushrooms. She definitely hadn't. The friend decided to blame the server because why look stupid in front of your friend and admit that you didn't remember that she didn't want mushrooms? Just blame the waitress, yeah? The waitress got it wrong. She can't even take a simple food order. But I was adamant, and I knew I was right, so I argued with this lady, because the customer isn't always fucking right, despite what they believe. She said, are you actually going to stand here and argue with me? And I said, yes, I am, because you didn't ask for it without mushrooms, but I can definitely get a remake for you, that's no problem. So I was very polite. This woman was so taken back that someone was actually arguing with her, because clearly she didn't think that we're allowed to have a backbone and argue a little bit. But it's just funny that people will argue until they're blue in the face. So will I. And that is all I have. If you have any horror stories from working in customer service or retail or even just whatever job you're doing, leave them in the description. No, leave them in the comments because I would love to hear them. So until next time, see you later. Bye.
I like how she's giving us a high five. So, this was Sarah. Let's give that one a like. Only 95 likes. That's crazy. 41 comments. This deserves a lot more likes, a lot more views. Alright. So, let's see. Let's see what our other videos are like before we give a follow. Okay. Okay, well, we don't need that. Okay. 10 months ago was our last update. I hope she's okay. But yeah, if you want, give her a follow. Might as well. And yeah. So yeah, those were definitely some horror stories, huh? That old man shit. Holy crap. That's insane. That would never fly anywhere ever. That is banned from the pub. Banned from the establishment for life. And thankfully, doesn't sound like he has many years left of that ban. But yes, he would have been banned. That is disgusting. That is creepy. That is a nightmare. Ugh. Gross. So, what are your customer service horror stories? And again, like I said, from both sides. I want to hear them. Happy Halloween from CXRR Radio, and we'll see you next time.